Hey everyone, it's Phil Gerbishek. I just got the brand new LinkedIn interface. I'm excited to see it finally. I've been playing around it with other people's. Now I'm glad to see mine. It's February 6th. So this is the LinkedIn homepage. First thing I notice is over here. I'm seeing my name. I see how many people viewed my profile. I see how many views were on my posts. That's interesting. I'm guessing posts actually means posts, not articles. So as I look through here at my feed, this looks the same. Looks a lot more Facebook-like here on here. So let's go through here. I see we've got home, we've got network, my network, we've got jobs, messaging, notifications, me, more, and Sales Navigator. And I do have Sales Navigator, so that makes it even easier to get there. So let's just go through the tabs. So let's start with My Network here. Let's see what we get from the My Network tab. So My Network, first, it's got, I could add my email if I wanted to, any received invitations, and then people that I know, that I might know. So as we scroll through here, okay, so that's about the same. Manage all, right? I could show them all. That makes sense to me. The jobs tab, I've never looked at this jobs before. I've never used LinkedIn for jobs, so this should be interesting. At least it is to me. So here's the jobs. I've got a couple saved jobs. I guess I did maybe look at it sometime, probably just to show people. But here's places where I'm a top applicant. That's kind of cool. Jobs I could be interested in. And answer to that is none. But you never know. So whenever okay, hiring people like me, that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's see what else do we have on the jobs tab. See more companies. All right, so nothing special there. As we look here, now we look at messaging. Messaging obviously is inbox plus InMail. So let's take a look and see if that looks any different. LinkedIn last year did go ahead and make that change last year, but this looks even brighter to me, even more easy to do. And then Sales Navigator, of course, a different inbox. So that's interesting, but that's there. Okay, so let's go to notifications. Let's see how that looks. No longer does that pop down to sort. So notifications has a separate URL, which, hey, that's great. Like to see that one notification. Here we go. So see who's viewed your post. So let's see what this does here. So let's take a look here. 10 views, so that's just that's a number of people. That's likely because I just shared that, but that's cool. So I have someone who thinks I'm fancy, so that's fun. They're on that post, so that'll take me back to that screen here. It was just me announcing that I like that I just got the new interface. So that's cool. So that's notifications, pretty simple here. If we look at me here, me has got privacy and settings, help center, language, manage my premium account, job postings, if I have showcase pages, company pages, and sign out. Okay, that all makes sense here. And it shows me that I've got a company page I need to get rid of. More LinkedIn products. That's great. So that takes me right to groups, right to the learning, which was Linda. Now it's LinkedIn Learning. I could post a job, advertise, look up. What is look up? That is new to me. So what the heck is look up? Let's see what that looks like here. Is that search, or what in the heck is look up? Let's take a peek here. Well, that was an interesting interstitial load there. So let's take a look at what this means. So look up. So still loading. I've heard this complaint from some folks that it is a little bit a little slower, but I'm guessing that's because this is the first time that it's ever done before. So of course nobody's going to be up in my domain, so let's take a look. So only coworkers will be able to. It's just me. Yeah, so you entered is not associated with it. Okay, great. So all right, so that's pretty useless for me, but if you're in a bigger organization, that could be really useful. From there, right, we've got all that. So that's the basic stuff. All right, so this doesn't look that different. Let's look at the search and see if search is different. So as I click on a search button here, it does populate likely the last few searches that I've done here. That is interesting. Last few people that I've looked at. So here we go. So as I click on that, still the ability to search, how to filter people's connections, tells me how to structure a search. So I click on that, and that'll pop up with some structuring suggestions here. First name, last name, title, company, school, and how to use Boolean using and or. That's fantastic. That is a little different than before. Locations, though, let's see. So now I can say that it's in the United States, which doesn't give me a lot of narrowing down there, but it does give me some ability to narrow down. It used to be that I could filter by location, meaning by zip code. Now it's picking geographic areas, probably where my network is deepest, right? Greater Milwaukee, Chicago, New York City, or maybe those are just the biggest places. But I can add different locations. So let's see, if I want to connect with other people in Tampa, which is where I'm located, I can just type in Tampa here. We'll pull that up, Tampa, St. Petersburg. That's great. So I can filter that down if I want to. So this might actually be even more helpful than putting in a zip code because now we're talking about cities that are real instead of having to know a zip code. That 33606 is a Tampa zip code. Now I can pick an actual city or cities, if you will, in this place, right? Tampa and St. Petersburg. I think this makes it even easier for me to do. So that is not that's not difficult at all. How many people are in my network, first and second degrees? I think that's actually pretty darn helpful there, because before it was, I think, if I had to look up the zip code, now I just type in the city. I like that a lot. So from there, right, I look at posts. So let's see, what does posts show me here? I bet you this is now, I can search by hashtag on the new features. So let's see what that shows. So let's let that come up, and I'm going to take a look, see if social selling is an option here. So let's let this load here. You'll notice it says facet. That's interesting. So now we're going to look for social selling. Okay, that's a hashtag, and now, oh, interesting. So that pops up, and then we just click on the bottom one. Let's see. Likely that looks like that's going to return people first. Okay, but it says index keyword social selling. Let's see what we get here. So again, this is my first look at the new LinkedIn interface. I would agree with some of the concerns that it looks a little bit slower than before, but again, I've not used this before, so it could be just that I'm used to, caching everything. So here we go. So here's some of those folks, some of the people I'd expect. Jill Rowley is listed there. Now we flip to posts. Jill is one of the best social selling people on the planet, so it's great to see Jill show up for that. Now we see these are some articles that have been tagged with social selling. So that's spectacular. So we're seeing that there. So that is dependent upon your post. So that's really, I think that's helpful. So if people tag their posts correctly, we'll see that. If they tag their jobs correctly or whatever. So that is terrific. I really think this is a market improvement over the bit of search we had before. Certainly it's different. The advanced search features may be a little bit gone, but I really like this. I'm curious what you think. If you have feedback, shoot me a note. You saw my email there before, phil@philgerbishak.com. Would love to hear from you. Leave a comment on the video. Leave a comment on LinkedIn. I'm going to share this on LinkedIn. I'm going to write an article about my thoughts, about my first impressions of the new user interface, and I certainly welcome yours. This is Phil Gerbishak, signing off. Thanks.